Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for being here. I appreciate you. Even if you clicked on the video and you're skipping ahead or you clicked out already, listen, you're probably not going to hear this, but I appreciate you coming through. Let's go ahead and listen to this track, Classical Gas. So I've never heard of this at all. This is an instrumental piece that is performed and composed by American guitarist Mason Williams with, I guess, instrumental backing by the Wrecking Crew, which that's kind of cool. Oh my god, I'm choking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. So this was recommended by a lot of people. Just to throw out a few names, Sick of the West, you recommended this. Michael Kolb, you had recommended this as well. Joe Marone, Sergeant Belson, James Paiva. Love to hear it from you. And I think even Kathy Wood, I think you recommended this as well. And then Sidecar Dog, I see that this was recommended 3 years ago? 3 years ago? It does take me a while sometimes, huh? Anyways, I'm excited to hear this, especially with the backing of the Wrecking Crew. You know it's going to wreck house, so let's go ahead and listen to it, and we'll talk about it a little bit after. Let's go. That's great. That's wonderful. Oh, that's good. Nice. That's fantastic. I love that prize. Wow. Really, really impressed with that one. That was basically a guitar-led symphony. That was fantastic. That was a great recommendation, guys. That was really good. Okay, so there's a lot of thoughts and questions I have in my mind. How did Mason Williams come into contact with the Wrecking Crew? I don't know anything about Mason Williams, so they could be working together all the time. Um, and I always have to ask this, and I know I know you probably get tired of me asking this, but as someone who does not play guitar or anything like that, I diddle around with dulcimer, but that's not really, I don't really consider me playing that. How hard is this piece to play? Because besides just the flow of it all. It sounds hard to play from a speed perspective because he's moving. He's moving. Some of the picking sounds really fast, and I think it would be hard. Maybe this is just me. It would be hard to keep up with everything. And while I like that this is, like I said, a guitar-led symphonic piece, I also like how the rest of the band, the Wrecking Crew themselves, they get their own moments to shine. It's not like, yes, it's filled with guitar, but there's some space left for everyone else, especially the horns. Love the drums. Just, love that. This sounds like a soundtrack to some sort of movie or a film or a TV show, an intro or something like that. So I love how cinematic it is as well. Of course, that's because of the encompassing of the whole orchestra and, or I shouldn't say the orchestra, the Wrecking Crew, which acts like an orchestra here in the music. But it does have a very adventurous, and I hate to use the word because it's 2022, but an epic feel to it. And I mean, looking back in the 60s, this sounds like it would be huge, you know? I want to read a little bit about this track because I think that's extremely impressive. Now, this is off of the album The Mason Williams Phonograph Record. Is the rest of the album like this, or is it completely different? That I'm also curious about. So looking at some of the information about this track, it was originally named Classical Gasoline. The tune was envisioned to be fuel for the classical guitar repertoire. The title was inadvertently shortened by a music copyist. Mike Post, later famous for television theme music, was a producer and arranger for the song. So that makes a lot of sense with just the scope of it and how it sounds. Classical Gas is sometimes erroneously thought to have been performed or even composed by Eric Clapton, because Clapton was the musical director and played much of the guitar music for the feature film The Story of Us, in which Williams' own recording of it from his album Handmade appeared. But no, this is not Eric Clapton. This is Mr. Mason Williams. It says that it has been used, I guess, in various television stations for their opening news themes. Maybe that's what gives it a somewhat familiar feel. Because, like I said, it did sound like an opener for like a show or a movie or something like that. But I guess it does sound a little bit like news music. I could hear that as well easily. So now I'm just curious. I'm kind of going back into the album here. I just want to know, is the rest of the album like this, or is it completely different? The album is only 29 minutes long, which is interesting. So it's a really short in and out. And of course, there's a lot of musicians that are mentioned here, but I don't know if these musicians play on every single song or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And just to make mention of it, it's going to be Lauren Netchell on the drums here from the Wrecking Crew, obviously, but we've heard him before. Yeah, that's a really, really great track. That's a wonderful suggestion. I think that sounds really adventurous. That sounds, in one word, invigorated. Hey, let me know what you guys thought of the track, though. You can let me know in the comments down below. Thank you again for the recommendation and the suggestion as well. I appreciate that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me on Twitter. You can support the channel on Patreon. And I hope you enjoyed your time here. Hope you come back tomorrow. And even if you don't, appreciate you stopping by in the first place. I'll see you guys later, though. Bye.